You may not know that my very first Disney job wasn't at Walt Disney World, and it didn't end too well. I love my time at Walt Disney World, but it actually was not my first job with Disney. In fact, my first job had actually happened several years before, four, I believe, and it was actually in the other coast in California. I actually got a job 1 year for the holidays at the Disney store in Southern California, near the town where we lived. I was substitute teaching at the time and was looking for a way to add some supplemental income. And hey, it's Disney, and I love Disney, and Disney's cool. And with the holidays coming up, of course, they're hiring extra people. So I thought, how cool, I'll go down there and I'll get a seasonal job. I had a good time doing it, working late nights, stocking shelves, bringing in stock, organizing, sorting, working the counter, and selling items to people. Pretty much everything you would expect at a retail store, except it's Disney. Apparently had the opportunity to go down to Disneyland free once a year. Never did get a chance to do that. But when the holidays were over, they gave several of us the opportunity to extend our time. And I said, sure, be happy to do that. And I actually spent just over a year, almost a year and a half, working for the Disney store in Southern California. Only doing 2 days a week. I was part-time because I was substitute teaching. I had other things I was doing. So 2 days a week. Just enough to keep the job and have some fun with it, and spent, like I said, almost a year and a half. Well, come April or May, we knew that we were getting ready to move to Florida. Due to various circumstances, we knew it was time to go. I was actually being told that my teaching credential in California was not going to be valid anymore because of the type of classes I'd taken, and they wanted me to go back to school full-time and not work, and it was a mess. California teaching credentials. I mean, just a terrible system at the time. We knew that that wasn't going to work. And we also knew that we had a couple opportunities in Florida that we were looking at. And over the course of a couple months, the decision was made. We're going to be moving to Florida. It's time to go. So I had talked to my management at the Disney store about possibly transferring and let them know that, hey, I'm going to be getting ready to go down to Florida. I need to take an advanced trip. The Disney store had several different outlets at the time. It was much bigger than it is now. There were a couple Disney stores in Tampa, so I was looking at being able to transfer down there. And hey, I'll be closer to Disney World. Maybe I'll actually get to use this visit the park free deal at some point. And I'd had a great time over the last year. Loved my name tag. I actually took a picture of my Disney store name tag. The costumes are, I mean, it was a retail, but it was still Disney, and it was fun with the plush and the music. And we did actually get pins in. We traded pins in the store at the time. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. You're lucky if you can even find pins at the few Disney retail outlets now. It was a fun job. And so I let them know, hey guys, we know that we're going to be moving to Florida. I've got to go down and do a scouting trip. I am going to be gone these days. And I told them like 3 weeks ahead of time that I was going to be going out of state. I wouldn't be available. Keep in mind, I'm working 2 days a week because I'm a substitute teacher. I'm going to be gone for a week. As the dates approach, lo and behold, I look on the schedule and I'm on the schedule. And I look at the manager and I'm going, okay, I let you know a few weeks ago I'm not going to be here on those dates. Put it in writing for you. It's sitting right there. Why am I on the schedule? Well, we didn't give you permission to go. Excuse me? I didn't ask for permission to go. I'm part-time. I'm going to be out of state. I won't be here. I'm not going to be here. Well, you're on the schedule, and so you're required to be here for 2 days. You've got other people and other options. Why do you think... Well, this is my decision as the manager. Well, sorry, it's my decision for my life, and I'm going to be gone, and I'm not calling in because you know I won't be here. Yeah, managers. Overall, up to this point, I had gotten along pretty well with this manager, and I'm not sure what caused the power trip here all of a sudden, because this wasn't their decision. You know, if I was going on a vacation or if I had a death, I don't need your permission to go. I'm giving you notification I will be gone. You can't book plane flights and stuff weeks ahead of time and then wait for your manager to the last minute to decide, oh yeah, I'll let you go. So I told him, I won't be here. I'm not calling in. You know I won't be here. I put it in writing. I will not be here on these dates. I am out of state. I am not commuting hours on plane each day to work for you when I have something else I'm doing in a different state on the opposite coast. Well, I go on my trip. My manager actually called me on my cell phone while I'm on the trip. Why aren't you here? I'm in Florida. I told you that. I told you in writing. You know I'm in Florida. Why are you calling me? Well, you're supposed to be at work and you're going to get a no-call, no-show. I gave you notification in writing. I'm not coming. Hello, get a clue. You know, some people, it just doesn't make sense to me. She didn't call me the second day I was supposed to be at work. At least she got that part done. So I come back from being out of state, go to the store, and she says, well, you've been terminated. Excuse me? Well, yeah, you are a no-call, no-show. I said, I gave you notification. Long story short, I appealed my termination and then changed it to a resignation because, you know, they were dumb and I knew I was moving in a month anyways. Sent a letter up to corporate, never did hear from the regional manager, but was basically informed that I was terminated or fired with a 1-year no rehire deal. Now, at the time, Disney Store, it was affiliated with Disney, but it was during one of those periods of time when it was actually its own division, its own company, so that no rehire didn't affect anything else in corporate. But it was still kind of one of those things like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So I did sort of get fired, sort of quit from Disney. I've never considered it a legitimate termination because they had plenty of notice and everything. And, you know, you get some people like that. You know, if you're one of those managers and you've got an employee that's going out of state for something, they don't need your permission. And especially if they're a good employee, you might want to actually pay some attention, not think you rule over them. Yeah. I think it was about 6 months later that the chain actually got reabsorbed by Disney and they started closing stores and it just became a mess and I wouldn't have been able to work there anyways. And as it was, I got a better paying job down in Florida. And because I was teaching full-time in Florida versus what I did in California, that let me go to Busch Gardens, and it actually ended up working out much better for me overall, and it never really affected me. But it was just one of those things that, you know, they had been a good, decent manager at least up to that point, and then they went on the trip. And so, yep, that's how I lost my first job at Disney, and lost all my time, too. That was one of the other things that was kind of a bummer, is that when I did start at Disney World, I should have had 1.5 years of credit with the company that they never gave me credit for. I never got my 5-year pin either. 6.5 years working really for Disney, and all I got was a 1-year pin to show for it. But that's okay. I had a great time doing it. So, do you got any stories like this where you got a manager that just... you have to shake your head and go, what are you thinking? Are you thinking? I don't know. I would love to hear your stories. If you got something similar, did you work at the Disney store? I'd love to hear about that as well. Please share it in the comments below. Thank you so incredibly much for hitting that like button, sharing the video, subscribing already. I mean, what are you waiting for? Thank you as well to my patrons, my financial supporters, my YouTube members. They allow me to do so much, and I am so grateful. If you want to know more about the perks that come with that and the benefits, be sure to check the links below in the description. Thank you so incredibly much for watching. God bless. I actually had gotten a job 1 year at the Disney store. I actually got a holiday job 1 year at the Disney store. In, oh my goodness, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to know about contact information, fan pages, merchandise, and more, please be sure to check the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to know when I have new ones, well, make sure you hit that subscribe button right up there. And if you want to see another one of my videos, well, I've got a great one for you right here. And a huge thank you to these wonderful people here who support me on Patreon and with YouTube memberships. They get behind the scenes information, special perks, and more. If you'd like to know more about that, well, make sure you check that button right there. Thank you so much.